Hey, it's Randy from Funeral Funds of America. In this video, I'm going to talk about the actual cost for $15,000 worth of burial, cremation, final expense, life insurance, or funeral funds for a 57-year-old female. Now, first thing you need to understand, you can go directly to our website. We've got these free quoters on every page pretty much. You just select the state that you live in. We are licensed in all 50 states, by the way, and select the coverage amount, put your birthday in there, the rest of the info. Click Get Quotes Now. It will take you to a page that's got all the best insurance companies with all the lowest rates in your state. And you'll be able to be a smart consumer at that point and avoid those companies out there that are offering these teaser rates, these super low rates that always seem to be too good to be true. And when you talk with them, yeah, they are. And then they try to upsell you. So we can help you be a smart consumer there. Also, you can call us at 888-862-9456. One of our agents can run rates for you as well. Now, the first thing as a 57-year-old female you need to understand is, if you're looking at $15,000 worth of insurance, is that going to be enough for your final expense needs? Now, the average cost of a cremation versus a burial, right? The average cost of a cremation right now in the United States is right between $1,000 to $2,000. That's if you just come home in a cardboard box or an urn. If you get cremated and you want a ceremony, a celebration of life, something like that, remembrance ceremony, that's going to be between probably $3,500 to $4,500. So most of the people we help for that come home in a cardboard box or an urn would probably get around between $5,000 to $7,000. And if you're going to have that ceremony with the cremation, probably between $7,000 to $10,000. That provides a little bit more money than you need early on, just in case you did die a little sooner, maybe pay some medical bills or stuff like that off. And then if you do live longer, there's extra money there to inflation-proof the plan to make sure you have adequate insurance. So you could get $15,000 if you wanted, and if you felt that was appropriate. But most of the people we work with are on a fixed or limited income, so we try to be very conservative and make sure and find them premiums that fit their budget right now, because we can always come back and add more coverage later. Now, if you're getting buried, the average cost of a burial right now in the United States is right around $10,000. And if you walk into pretty much any funeral home in the United States with a $10,000 check, they should be able to help you. But I can guarantee you one thing, it's not going to be anything fancy. But it's hard to imagine that they would allow a $10,000 check to walk out the door and, go down the street to their competition. So just understand that if all you can afford right now is $10,000, go ahead and do it, because we can always help you add more coverage. But $15,000 would be definitely be a better policy amount. Now, most of the time for 57-year-old females for burial, we're helping them with either like maybe $10,000, $15,000, or $20,000, depending on your budget. We don't recommend. Sometimes people will say, "Hey, I want to get like $25,000 or $30,000 and leave some money behind for my kids." Typically, we discourage that, and certainly if you've got the money to do so, we can help you out with that. But again, most people are on a fixed or limited income, and we just don't want to put people in a financial pinch. And we really think this insurance is best used for its intended purpose, final expenses. And if you wanted to give money to the kids, probably should have taken care of that maybe with a different type of policy earlier in life. But if you're at that point right now and you want to get more coverage, we can certainly help you out with that. But we'll let you guide us on that. We're certainly not going to pressure you to buy anything more. Now, one thing we always recommend is getting first day coverage or benefits. And what that means is that hypothetically, if your policy were approved today and you died tomorrow, the insurance company would pay the entire $15,000 out if that was the amount of your insurance. So that's the best coverage you can get. It's also the lowest pricing, by the way, but that's exactly what you want. But now, some people would say, well, I want that first day coverage, but I'm not in the best of health. And I know those plans ask health questions. And what do I do? To which we say, hey, your health is our problem, not your problem. And that's why we work with so many different insurance companies, because they all have different underwriting requirements and they all have different health questions. And 90 to 95% of the time, we're getting people first day coverage or benefits. So let us help you out with that. The only reason you wouldn't qualify for first day coverage or benefits would be if you had some really significant health issues going on. Like if you had a terminal illness and you're going to pass away in the next 12 months, or you had dementia, or you were on dialysis, or in a hospital, or in a nursing home. If that were the case, we'd probably refer you out to a different company. The other thing that happens, seems like every week, is somebody will call us up and say, hey, we had a family member pass away this last week. They didn't have any insurance. We don't have any money. Now their body's down at the funeral home, and the funeral home director's not going to do anything until he gets a check in his hand. So we need to get an insurance policy really quick so we can get a check in our hand to get a check to the insurance, to the funeral home guy. Get him an insurance check. At which point we have to let people know there is no insurance company in the United States that's going to issue a policy to a dead person, somebody who's already died. So it's really a tragic situation that somebody who passed away, who said that they loved their family their entire life, and then they didn't take care of this, and then they threw this horrible financial burden and emotional burden on them at the worst time when they're trying to deal with the death of a loved one. And everybody knows they're going to die. You know, that person probably knew they were going to need this insurance at some point, and they just didn't do it. And now their family's suffering. So don't be that person. That's a horrible legacy to leave behind. You know, it's horrible that these family members, anytime that name comes up, people are going to think about, you know, instead of all the great things they did their whole life, probably think about how they got stuck with a bill that may have taken them years to pay off. So don't be that person. This insurance is affordable. Just get what you can afford. Again, we can always help you add more coverage later. Now, one thing we don't recommend, as I mentioned, is the 2-year waiting period plans. And Colonial Penn is probably one of the more well-known companies out there just because they advertise a lot. It seems like their TV commercials are on TV every 7 minutes or so. Yikes. There's other companies out there that offer 2-year waiting periods as well. Mutual of Omaha, their United of Omaha line, AIG, Gerber. There's a whole bunch of other companies. That's the only thing they offer is 2-year waiting period. And, you know, some of these companies have done an amazing job of convincing the American public that the only thing you'll qualify for after age 50 is a 2-year waiting period, to which we go, do not fall for such nonsense. We help people with first day coverage all day long. So, you know, a 57-year-old female watching that Colonial Penn commercial is probably thinking, oh my gosh, for $9.95, I can probably get 20,000, 30,000, 40,000. Glory, hallelujah. I could probably even get $50,000. And then she calls Colonial Penn and talks with an agent or looks on their website like we're doing and finds out that a 57-year-old female for $9.95, all they can get is $1,996. Now, that might be enough for a cremation in many parts of the country, but it doesn't matter because this policy is going to have a 2-year waiting period. And yeah, you know, we know that $1,900 or $1,669 is not going to be worth as much 2 years from now due to inflation. So why would you ever get a policy that's putting you in the hole almost right away? And it's a lot of people would say it's not too hard to imagine that, you know, these companies that offer these teaser rates, these rates that seem too good to be true, that when you call them up and find out that they are too good to be true, that, you know, they try to upsell you. And we're not saying that's the case with Colonial Penn, but, you know, I don't know. It possibly could happen. Let's take a look here. So, because we're looking for $15,000. So with Colonial Penn, you can't actually get $15,000 on the nose because they've got this per unit pricing. It always ends up with this wackadoodle numbers like 1,669. So let's see, I'm going to guess, let's guess at 9 units. There we go. Yeah, you can't get 15,000, but you can get $15,021. Evidently, that $21 is intended for something. It's I'm not quite sure what that would be. Maybe a tip to the flower lady or flower gal or guy. Anyway, let's take a look here. So yeah, 15,000 is roughly $90 a month, $89.55. Let's go check on first day coverage and see, you know, what kind of savings there may be. And I'm betting it's significant. Let's take a look. So we got 15,000 here, female, age 57. And let's click get quote right here. And here we go. So 15,000 is roughly $90. We can get first day, wow, we can get first day coverage for $41. So that's $41 for the same amount of coverage versus $15,000. So that is roughly $50 difference. Now, keep in mind, with Colonial Penn, you will overpay that roughly $50 every single month for the rest of your life. And you have a 2-year waiting period. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Let's do the math on that. Roughly $50 a month is roughly $600 a year. Then after 10 years, when our 57-year-old female got up to 67, that would be roughly $6,000 you will have overpaid over the last 10 years. Imagine you live 20 years. You'll have overpaid right around $12,000 on a $15,000 policy. And that's just overpaying. Why would you ever overpay? So don't do that. Be a smart consumer. Don't fall for marketing tricks. Just look at this pricing. Why would you overpay $50 a month? Let's look at some other companies here. Let's go down a little bit. Let's see here. And you'll be able to see all these different insurance companies. Let's see. Let's go back up here. Again, we were right around 41. So, I mean, you look at Lumico here. We run into them once in a while, level coverage. But, you know, about $10 more a month. That's $120 a year. That'd be $1,200 after 10 years. $2,400 after 20 years. You know, it's not a lot of money, but, you know, it's your money. Why would you overpay? Why would you overpay? Keep that money in your own pocket. I'm sure you can enjoy it more than an insurance company executive. Let's take a look here. Oh, here's another one. Lincoln Heritage. They're a fine company, I guess, but, you know, my gosh, they're more expensive. Look at that. Like $20 more a month. It is level coverage, first day coverage. That's good. But, you know, they've got a thing where when you pass away, they'll call 2 or 3 different funeral homes and supposedly try to get you the best pricing, maybe do a couple other things. But as we see, they're like $20 more a month. $20 a month. So that's $20 a month, roughly. That's $240 a year, roughly. And after 10 years, that'd be roughly $2,400 more. So you got to ask yourself, is it worth paying an insurance company an extra $2,400 roughly to make 2 or 3 phone calls, maybe do a couple other things? It might only take an hour or so. So most people would say that's a pretty good payday for the insurance company, and I guess we would tend to agree. So what we've done at Funeral Funds of America is we've got a free funeral and estate planning guide, and you can just fill that out. You download that off our website, print it out, fill it out in advance. Who gets what goes where, and just write down exactly what you want done after you're gone. And then you just keep that with your insurance policy. And then when you pass away, your family goes there and they've not only got the financial protection from the insurance policy, but they've got the emotional protection that you've laid out everything for them. And all they have to do is just open that up and go through it and just execute your final wishes. And they will have the peace of mind knowing that they're doing everything exactly as you wanted it done. And you've also provided them the money to do so. And what a wonderful gift of love to leave behind, to let them know that well in advance of you passing away, you were thinking of them and protecting them even after you're gone. What a wonderful legacy to leave behind. And you can save lots of money just by doing it that way, by going with a company that's going to be less expensive, that offers you the flexibility of kind of changing your mind on any of that stuff by just changing the funeral and estate planning guide. Anytime you change your mind, you can change it, and you're not locked in with a company that's going to be charging you more. So you can go directly to our website, funeralfunds.com, and we've got a special quote, funeralfunds.com/YouTube for our YouTube viewers. You can get the best rates and coverage there. You can also call us up at our toll-free 888-862-9456. And if you've got an existing policy and you want us to price shop it for you to make sure you got the best deal, or you want to add coverage to it, we can help you out with that. If you need some brand new coverage, we can help you out with that. And then also, if you just have some questions or concerns or want to know how these policies work, we can help you out with that. So just reach out to us. We look forward to hearing from you and helping you out with this. Until that day comes, you stay safe, you take care, and you have a nice day.